So Binance is actually not the #1 exchange anymore. There's another one that has taken that place, and this is what we're going to talk about today, because it's something that you probably don't expect. It's probably one exchange that you have never heard of. So let's begin. So hi, I'm Ryan, and this is another episode of Blockchain Markets. As I said before, today I'm going to talk about exchanges and about this new exchange that has taken the #1 place, and nobody's talking about it. But before we start, I'd like to thank to everybody that has been liking and subscribing to this channel. So if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and share this video so you can spread the knowledge on cryptocurrencies, and you can also win Bitcoin. And I'll show you in a second how to do it. Let me just share my screen. And I'll show you how you can start winning Bitcoins. So I'm running this Bitcoin giveaway, and then all you have to do, I'll leave the description in the link in the description of this video, and all you have to do is just follow these steps here. So you can earn some Bitcoin. So again, thank you very much for following my channel. Has been growing really fast, and especially I've got a lot of good comments on Twitter as well about the interviews I've been doing. So thank you very much. And now let's begin. Let's start talking about the exchanges and what has happened. So let's go to CoinMarketCap. Let's see first how the market is doing. I don't want to go through all these prices for two reasons. One is because other people do it and then they cover the news and then how the coins are doing. And number two is because I don't really care in the short term if Bitcoin is going -1%. Or Ethereum is going down by 2%, because what I think is that in the long term, these technologies will pay off a lot. So the return on the investment is in the long term, not in the short. So that's why I don't care, and that's why if you want to know more about what the market is doing and all that, I suggest you go to other people on YouTube. So now let's go straight to the point about exchanges and why about Binance not being the #1 exchange anymore. So in this video, I want to show you first the thinking behind on how I got to this knowledge, to this information. If you see here, in CoinMarketCap, let's go and let's put Binance. Binance has a 1.6 billion coin market cap. Sorry, the market cap of Binance is 1.6 billion. Now there are others that are also known, like Huobi, for example, like Bbox, which are not in this page because it's #1. But what I want to show you is this. There are some things that don't make sense now in the market that I think it will have a correction eventually. And this is one of the things. So then, and I'm going to talk only about exchanges, not protocols in this case, not dApps, just exchanges. If you see, KuCoin is a very known exchange, but they don't really trade a lot of, they don't have a lot of trading in the platform. If we want to see how much trade they have, but let's go now to the market cap. The market cap is $266 million. And then Bbox is $89 million. But now if we go and see Bbox, the exchange, and we compare it to KuCoin, the exchange, you'll see something that it's surprising. So we saw that the price of KuCoin was way bigger. The market cap is way higher than Bbox. But what happens in reality is that this is the amount that KuCoin is trading every day on the platform. So it's 34 in the last 24 hours. $34.5 million have been traded on KuCoin. Now let's compare it to Bbox. Almost 150,000. So 34 against 148. Yet if we go back to the price, you'll see that the price was, it's lower. The price of KuCoin, it's the market cap is 266 compared to the market cap of Bbox, which is 89. So I just leave it there. It's not, of course, not financial advice. It's just my my own research that I'm sharing with you. Just take it as part of your own research, of course. But that's my point. That there's some things that don't make sense in the exchanges world. So Bbox eventually will be much more expensive than KuCoin. And the same story happens with Huobi. So Huobi also trades like half of the amount that traded on Binance, but the price is like 9 times lower. Now, there's one thing also that I would like to show you. If you go to CoinMarketCap and you look by exchanges, and then now I'm going to the point. When you see that here Binance is number 1, yes, now Binance is number 1, and then Huobi is number 3, OKX number 2. So again, the same story when you compare Bbox against KuCoin. If we would compare here Binance against Huobi, the price of Huobi is way lower. As CoinMarketCap, the market cap, sorry, of Huobi, it's 178 million compared to almost 1.6 billion Binance. So you just do the math, and then you can see how much you can grow if it catches up to where Binance is now. But now what I wanted to show you is actually, and this is the big news that nobody's talking about. If you see the steps here, you can look at markets with fees or without fees. Now let's put all of them. Let's put all the exchanges, and let's see who is the biggest. Which one is the biggest exchange actually? And here's the surprise. This is what I just found out that nobody's talking about. That Fcoin, which is a new one, I'll just show you. Fcoin. It's a new exchange, and it's also they also have their own token, FT. And if you see here, it doesn't even have the market cap. Now I did the math, and it's roughly 458 million. But if you look at the recently added, this has been added when? 3 days ago only. It's a platform that is just running since late May, the very last days of May, the beginning of June. So 1 month and a half, less than a month and a half, like 5 weeks. And yet 5 weeks, and you see here, they have taken over Binance. In fact, you see, this is the amount that is traded on Binance per day, 1 billion per day. And these guys, just 5 weeks live, and they're trading 8 billion. 8 billion. Now the price, the market cap is roughly 1/3 of Binance. So same story. Just leave it there on the table. You can do whatever you want with that information. Again, it's not financial advice. It's just my own research, but you can decide if you take action or not. Full disclosure: I did buy yesterday F-coin because I think it will go up. And then, so this is the big news. Is actually everybody talks about Binance being number one, but it is actually not. And what I think is super interesting is two things. One is the speed of these guys actually F-coin going to being number one. And then I think you'll start listening and hearing more about this actually Binance not being number one. And two is this new concept of markets with no fees. So far, all the conversations have been, do we have a market, an exchange that is centralized, or do we have an exchange that is decentralized? And that's it. And you have, on the one hand, Huobi, OKX, Gemini, IDAX, Binance, of course, Bbox, KuCoin on the centralized. On the decentralized, you have IDEX, you have now smaller ones like, well, Ether Delta, of course, it was older. Switcheo, for example, I'm doing an interview with them later this week, so subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and click the notifications bell so you can get it. But that's my point. I think that the second characteristic is that these markets that are not charging fees, these exchanges without fees, I think are going to be the future. Why? Because of if you think it from the let's say you run an ICO. If you think it from that perspective, you run your ICO, you got your funds. Now you have to go and list in an exchange. Now everybody's going to start asking you when Binance on your Telegram account. So then you will go to Binance. You will ask, how much do you charge for me listing my coin? And then you'll figure out that it is millions. It's millions you have to pay to be listed on Binance. I don't know how much it's in Huobi. I guess it's pretty much the same, maybe less, I don't know. But it's a lot of money. And if you go to these new platforms like F-coin, and there are more coming as well with no fees, like Big One, and you'll see that first they don't charge you, so then you can just list your coin for 0 fee, and then on top of that, so that's a huge advantage for the projects to put their coins there. And now, what's the advantage to? So they're generating the supply for this, and then how are they bringing the demand for this? Well, they're asking, they're telling the users, well, if you start trading on F-coin, we'll pay you 80% of the overall revenue back to people that stake the FT token. So you have a huge advantage. You have a huge, sorry, not advantage, a huge incentive to keep the token, to stake the FT token. So, and this very, very clever, from an economic point of view, very clever design of these platforms like F-coin and others will come, of course, will bring these platforms to be the biggest one in the short term, I think. And I'm not saying what I think will happen. You can see it here. I mean, 5 weeks live, and they're trading this amount compared to this amount. I think the numbers speak for themselves. The data, let the data speak, like many people say. So, and as I said, it's a very clever model because they encourage the supply to get to the platform. And then you can see here it's not like these small exchanges that start and then why would you go and pay to a new exchange if you don't know how good it is? But in this case, they have taken all the friction for the projects. You can just list your coin there for free, completely for free. You get all the supply of this new, more and more pairs, you see? And then more and more will come. And then they're not just small, they're also big ones. They have Bitcoin, they have Ethereum, they have even Binance. Look, even Binance. They're even trading Binance coin. OX, Silica, another big project, Brussels. So I think this is the future in these exchanges. It's not decentralized exchanges only, but these exchanges that are very clever in bringing this the supply for zero and paying almost all the fees back to the users. Having said that, I think we covered everything that I wanted to cover for this video. So if you hear that Binance is #1, the biggest exchange, very easy to see that it is not. Just go to trade volume and look at the trade volume for the last 24 hours, and not just look at the ones with fees, but all of them. Then you'll see that there are few, not just Fcoin. Go to Fcoin websites. I think it's very interesting, so you can learn more about it. Read the FT white paper, and then you'll see that what the model is. The model is basically paying people to stake, and they say how much they have accumulated here, how much are they paying. So very interesting concept. Now it's not only about centralized versus decentralized, but also fees against no fees or very little fees, and paying people back the amount of the fees. So having said that, thank you very much, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you want to keep on getting content. If you like this, check my latest video. This did a very good had a good chat with the president and co-founder of Securitize, which is a platform to issue security tokens, which is, by the way, you can check this other video I made about security tokens. Where it is, yeah, here. Because I think security tokens are also one big trend that is coming. So follow this. CoinCrunch also did one interview with them, and then they've done also very good content related to security tokens. So also you can check that. And that's it, guys. I'll see you in the next video. And this week I'm getting some very interesting interviews. One of them will be with Hedera Hashware. So stay tuned, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers. Bye, guys.